the strange people. When I woke up, it was early morning, and the sun was just beginning to rise. I tried to stand up. عندما أنا استيقظت كان الصباح مبكرا والشمس كانت just beginning to rise. I tried to stand up. أنا حاولت إن أنا الشمس يا دوب كانت بتشرق. أنا حاولت إن أنا stand up أقف, but I found that this was impossible. I realized that my arms أو arms على حسب American أو British not, my legs and even my hair were all somehow fastened to the ground. These thin ropes were tied around my body and neck, and I found I could only look up at the clear sky above me. I heard some noises and then felt something climb onto my left leg. It moved up my body until it was close to my head. Only then could I see what it was. It was a human. وكان إنسان بشري. But this human was only about 15 centimeters tall. كان طوله يدوب بالظبط 15 سنتيمتر. He was carrying a bow and arrow على حسب American or British note. I then realized there were about 40 other men of the same size all around me. They all looked the same. كلهم يبدو بنفس الشكل. Each one carrying a tiny bow and arrow. كل واحد بيحمل قوس وسهم صغيرين. ماشي. How did Gulliver know that he was in a strange country? كيف عرف ان هو في بلد غريبة؟ طبعا من اول هنا the human الناس كانت was only about 15 centimeters tall. كان طولهم 15 سنتيمتر مثلا. and they all looked the same. كلهم في نفس الكلام دوت. each one carrying a tiny bow and arrow. طيب هنا القطعة التانية. the Lilliputians attacked the giant. أهل الليليبوتيان هاجموا العملاق أو مهاجمة أهل الليليبوتيان للعملاق. هنا معلش لحظة. who are you and what are you doing to me? I cried. دي ممكن تيجي في الكوتيشن. من أنتم and what are you doing to me؟ وماذا تفعلون بي؟ I cried. أنا صرخت. on hearing my voice. معلش بس هنا أنا معاكو اهو. the little men looked worried and jumped away from me. So I tried to stand up again. Some of the ropes broke and now I could move my left arm. The little men shouted something in a strange language, and I felt hundreds of arrows hit me. Most of the arrows hit my thick clothes, and I felt nothing, but some of them stuck in my left hand. The arrows على حسب النطق. were tiny, but there were so many of them that it hurt. Will you please stop that? I shouted. هل أنتم لو سمحتوا هتتوقفوا عن ذلك؟ ده مين اللي قال كده؟ جوليفر. لمين؟ البيتيانز، أهل الليبوت. but ده طبعا امتى؟ when عندما هو كان مربوط طيب. but when they continued to shoot عندما هم ألقوا عليه السهام shot the arrows I lay quietly أنا رقدت بسرعة on the ground على الأرض and decided not to move or say anything. If I waited until night time, I thought I could use my left hand to unite the other ropes and escape when it was dark. Perhaps because they could see that I was not trying to escape يهرب. The little man became quiet. الناس الصغيرين دول أصبحوا هاديين. Later they grew more confident. أصبحوا أكثر ثقة. And after about an hour I could hear wood being cut next to me. I guessed that they were building something. Then the ropes around my head were cut free and I could finally lift my head. What did Gulliver do to calm the Lilliputians down? عمل ايه عشان يهدئ اهل اللوبيتيان؟ عمل ايه؟ الاجابة سهلة جدا، ان هو عمل ايه؟ lay down، ركض لاسفل. فين من اول فين؟ هجيبها لكم هنا. ركض وما حاولش ان هو ايه يثيرهم اكتر يعني. من اول فين الاجابة؟ I lay quietly on the ground and decided not to move or say anything. يبقى كده حاول ايه انه يهديهم، ان هو ما يقولش اي شيء ويركض على الارض. طيب نخش على كده بعد كده السؤال بقى، القطعة اللي بعد كده، الباراجراف اللي بعد كده. meeting the important man، مقابلة الرجل المهم. I saw a man standing on a wooden platform that had been built to the side of my head. The man was wearing important looking clothes and a servant stood on each side of him. He looked at me and started to give a talk, but I could not understand anything he said. I guessed from this expression and intonation that he spoke with a mixture of threats and promises. عرف من لهجة كلامه كده وتعبيراته، النغمة بتاعته والتعبيرات بتاعت صوته، ان هو كلامه خليط من الثريتس، التهديدات، and promises، والتوعيدات. طيب عرف ان هو راجل مهم بسبب كده يعني. when the man finished talking، عندما انهى الكلام، I tried to talk to him in English، انا حاولت ان اتكلم معاه بالانجليزي. Sir، يا فندم، my name's Lemuel Gulliver and my ship's been lost in a storm. That's why I am here. You don't need to tie me up. I won't hurt anyone. Perhaps you could give me some food and a drink. ده مين اللي قال الكلام ده؟ طبعا جوليفر. انه مين لمين؟ لل important man، الراجل المهم. when he was tied، عندما هو كان tied مربوط. I could see from his expression that he did not understand me either، وما قدرش يفهمني أيضا. So I pointed to my mouth to show him that I was hungry and thirsty، وشاورت لفمي لبقي عشان أعرفه إن أنا جعان وعطشان. The man said something to his servants. I watched as some of the little men went off, returning shortly with many baskets of food and little containers of water. طبعا الامريكان بيقولوا water. they put ladders، وما وضعوا السلالم against my shoulder، ضد كتفي يعني، and carried the baskets and containers up to my mouth. They could not believe how much I drank and ate, but they seemed pleased. I think the little people realized that they could trust me, and with food in my stomach, I felt I could trust them too. Thank you, I said when I had finished eating. يبقى قال امتى كلمة شكرا؟ لما انهى الاكل. The little men smiled at me and nodded their heads، وهز هز راسه. The Lilliputians were clever and generous people. كان ناس ماهرين و generous people، ناس كرماء يعني. explain، وضح. طبعا من خلال ان هم عملوا ايه، جابوا السلالم bought ladders and against my shoulder. كل ده بيوضح ان هم ايه، او ممكن تقول مثلا هم مثلا give him، اعطوه more food and drink him، وشربوه يعني، واعطوه طعام كثير. the king's arrival، وصول الملك. another man arrived and it was clear that this was an important person، هو شخص مهم. the other men bowed to him and from his clothes انحنوا. bowed هنا يعني ينحني، الناس انحنت له. and from his clothes، ومن ملابسه كمان برضو عرفت ان هو ملك. I understood that this was the king of their country, which I later found was called Lilliput. He too spoke to me from the wooden platform and I waited patiently، بصبر، انتظرت بصبر until he finished speaking، بعد ما هو حتى هو أنهى كلامه. I am pleased to meet you، أنا سررت أن أقابلك سير يا فندم. but please can you set me free، لو سمحت ممكن تفك قيودي يعني، أو تطلق سراحة. I asked him، أنا طلبت منه. I knew we could not speak the same language, but we managed to communicate with each other using signs with our hands، ممكن نتصل بالإشارات بإيدينا. so I understood that he refused my request، فهمت إنه رفض طلبي to be free، لأن أكون حرا. and that he said that I did not need to worry. He pointed and said something about moving me somewhere. Hundreds of tiny people were now standing around me. slowly They picked me up and put me on a strange machine that had many wheels. Later I found out. حطوني على حاجة غريبة بعجلات. Later I found out that أنا اكتشفت the people of this land were great engineers، كانوا مهندسين عظام، and had designed this machine to carry heavy trees، بيحمل الأشجار الكبيرة. About 11 it was pulled by a team of tiny black and white horses, each horse about even 11 centimeters tall. I realized that they wanted to take me to the capital city. Before we left, some of the men poured some medicine on the cuts where cuts هنا الجروح اللي هي كانت اللي هو جرحها، حط بعض من الدواء where the arrows had hit my hand، حيث السهام ضربت يدي. The cuts immediately felt much better، تحسنت يعني الجروح. How did Gulliver know that the man was the king؟ كيف عرف؟ طبعا الإجابة هنا في البداية أظهر من الناس الآخرين أو زمان الناس bowed to him and from his clothes، ومن ملابسه والناس انحنت له. طيب Gulliver in the capital city. هنكمل بقى المرة الجاية عشان الفيديو كده طول قوي، احنا داخلين في تلت ساعة. ياريت بقى تشتركوا في القناة عشان تتابعوا الفيديوهات بتاعتي أول بأول، والإعجاب بالفيديو ومشاركة الفيديو مع الأصدقاء والتعليق أسفل الفيديو لو حتى بكلمة تم عشان تدعموا القناة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.